We are recording. Hello, I'm Bruce Harris.
Hi, I'm Miguel Mora, and welcome to Chex Play.
Welcome to Chex Play. Welcome to Chex Play. How come you are here today? It's just you and me today. Miguel, it's just you and I.
Absolutely, man. Due to a conflict on scheduling, Kasha is not going to be here with us today, but we'll do our best.
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can make it, Miguel. This is difficult.
We'll do it.
This is going to be difficult because, I was rehearsing all last night, yesterday and last night. I was going to, we were going to sing the Chick-fil-A song.
The one that I sent you, right?
I wanted to sing that. I don't know. I know I'm acting silly already. I wish Kasha was here because I can really get her into this, and I was all prepared to this because that was funny. You sent me this guy. I don't know his name.
I don't know who he is, but the song was good.
He was the song, so everybody knows the song "Yesterday" by the Beatles. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now I'm something here today, so I believe in yesterday.
Chick-fil-A.
Right? No, he changed the words to Chick-fil-A. Right. He was like Chick-fil-A. Mm-hmm. I can eat it 7 times a day. Something like that.
It was real good.
Where people laugh and children play. Oh, I believe in Chick-fil-A. Suddenly, I need waffles, fries in front of me. I don't know. Let me shut up. Yeah. That's going to get edited. Shut up. So, who's with us today? We have Joe Jimenez.
We got a wonderful guest today, Joe Jimenez, who I personally have a big debt with Joe. Joe and I met when we opened the Taj Mahal, and he kind of took a liking to me. We started working very close together in the pits when his customers weren't in. And then he finally, one day he came to me and asked me, hey, would you like to come and work with me in the international marketing?
What was he doing? What was his job?
He was vice president of international marketing.
Okay.
When we opened the Taj Mahal. He used to bring players from Latin America mainly and Europe.
I've heard his name for billions of years now. I get a chance to meet him. He must be a really, really young guy because I've been hearing his.
Well, Joe, I think is about our same age. He's a year older than me, I believe. So we're all in the same bracket.
Okay.
Baby boomers. We're all baby boomers. So
okay,
that's what happens. But I had the opportunity to work with Joe at the Taj, and then when he left to go to Bally's as executive vice president, he asked me to go with him, and I did. We worked together there for a few years.
Okay.
And then we moved on. Then Joe went to work for, he didn't go to work anywhere else. He was part of Bally's, which turned into Park Place Entertainment. And then they bought out Caesars and then turned the company into Caesars Entertainment. And I got a call from Joe to go back and work for them in Atlantic City, and I did. Mm-hmm. So we've been together for many, many years. We've been friends for many years. I know his wife. I know his daughters. So it's going to be great to have him here with us.
Cool. So I have to be on my best behavior. I'm going to make you look good, okay? I'm going to do my best.
We'll try. We can always try, as always. That's all we can do. We try. We're not experts. We're not professionals at this, but we enjoy what we do.
Yeah, we do. Well, we're going to probably keep it short because I really want to get him in because will be like a 5-part series with him because
it's a lot to talk about with you.
Yeah. But what's been going on in the casino? The casino numbers are going up pretty much. A lot of markets are getting the visitors are coming in. I guess they said to heck with it. I'm going out. I'm going to the casino and spend some money, and so the industry is doing well. I hear.
I think what it is, Bruce, is we assume already COVID is here to stay. It's not going to go away overnight. So we have to keep living our lives.
Yeah.
And people are realizing that the chance still there that you might get infected is there. Everybody's vaccinated. Many people are vaccinated. I am because I'm high risk. But I got to keep living. I don't wear a mask anymore when I go out most of the time. My wife still does. But we have to keep on living.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the people are hungry for entertainment, enjoyment, keep enjoying their lives. And casinos are a great part of entertainment in the U.S.
Yes,
and
it
around
is.
the world.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So that's part of one of the things we're going to talk about today with Joe. He's an expert with the online gaming and sports betting, and that's a big, that's just booming right now. With people with mobile apps and things like that. And so let's bring him in. Let's bring him in because
Yes,
like I said, we're going to have a lot to talk about. And so what's his company, Miguel? He has
Sardon.
Sardon. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So okay, we got Joe
He's the
Jimenez is
founder of
coming in.
Sardon.
Okay, Mr. Jimenez.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Hello,
Oh,
Joseph. How are you?
Well, Miguel, very well. Good to see you, man.
We can't see you.
good morning, Joe.
You got to do-
My bad. My bad.
Yeah.
You know what? You have to leave and come back and do it right. We are attention to detail here, just to let you know. You look like you're like a movie star, man.
Yeah.
From the 40s.
Man, I mean, I had to dress up today because I had to get ready. And
Hi.
Miguel, thank you. Miguel told me you and him have worked together. In fact, he says you made him who he is today. So I said,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna do
Yeah,
my
good
best to
day
make.
with Joe.
I'm going to make sure I'm on my best behavior to try to make him look good.
I think it's the other way around, Bruce.
No, I want to make sure that you know that he's hanging around the right people. Okay.
He's
So,
with you. Now, are you guys pretty close by
Yeah.
Punta Cana?
Yeah, we live in the same development.
Mhm.
Bruce lives about a few blocks away.
Yep.
So we're right inside the same complex.
And
It's
you know,
wonderful.
Both of you moved in. Has the community value going up, flat,
Yes.
or down?
Yes. No. Up as hell.
The two of you.
Because of us, of course.
watch it. You have some humor there. I know where you're going there, but let me just tell you something. I'm like the king of Punta Cana Village, just to let you know. In fact, Roger
tell
Snow, I don't know if you know Roger Snow. He's the senior vice president of now Light and Wonder.
Light and Wonder.
He visited here. He came to visit me. And when he came, he says, Bruce, everybody knew you when I got at the airport.
Yeah.
When I landed at the airport, he said, you're like the mayor, aren't you? I said, yeah. I said, yeah, something like that, But
No, but
yeah,
it's true, Joe. If you go around here at the development, we got restaurants and pubs and all that right inside. You don't have to leave here. We got banks, we got supermarkets, everything is in here.
it's right here.
So
Yeah.
I know you
wherever
like to
you go,
smile, Miguel. So I know I wouldn't expect anything less. Now, Bruce, are you playing music in Punta Cana just for your own soul? I learned about your music through your podcast. I didn't even know
You know what's funny?
in Atlantic City. I would have gone lounge at the Trump Plaza to
Listen.
catch your
Let me.
jazz
It's funny
sections.
it's funny you said that because just yesterday I was doing 4 hours of work doing some editing, and we had a meeting. And after 4 hours, the editing was perfect, and it was exporting because it's an outside, source of this editing program, and I lost all of it. So I decided to take a walk to cool down, pick up some cheap Dominican rum. And after half of the bottle, I got on my piano about 3 o'clock this morning. I sent it to Miguel. You saw it,
yeah,
Miguel.
he was playing piano.
I was playing some Bruno Mars.
Oh, man.
And I can't play the piano, by the way, Joe. So
He's a bass player mostly, but he plays the piano well. So.
But I heard you correctly. You did play at the lounge at the Plaza where your mother went to see you.
you saw that.
Yeah. And the coincidence, all these years later, and I was in Atlantic City from 85 to 2000, back in 2004. And we never met. I know all of you. We probably ran into each other many times and didn't know about your music career.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I was playing with a gentleman he was actually Liberace's protege. His name was Vince Cardell. But we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about you. Welcome. Good morning. And it's good to finally meet you. And I've been hearing about you for years. And you have my gosh, you have many years of solid engagement in our business, and you've done a lot of things with regards to player development. Now, more recently, rather me telling you, you tell us what you're doing more recently. How about that? That's even better.
Perfectly. But first of all, let me just say, and I have to say this while you're taping, that your unrehearsed banter between you guys is magic. I love the authenticity, the humor that you bring to it. While it's informative, it's a lot of fun watching you guys just go back at each other and the humor side of it because of your stories together, how far back you go. So kudos, keep doing it.
Thank you so much.
You may have made a mistake, I think, because after listening to all the gaming experts that you've had on, my goodness, Joe Giamo, Hina Reed, your friend, on and on and on. Howard Weiser, Steve Carroll, one of my mentors, all of our mentors. And I loved Roger Snow and you guys baked a show together of great information, super stories, informative as hell. So, man, what a tough act to follow. I think you made a mistake this week.
No. We say that. We actually say that every time we do a show. And Steve Carroll, like you said, he was our very first. That was on February the 11th, and we thought it was going to. He set the bar so high, but we've been very fortunate. And to keep the same, the plane is still, it's elevating. Every guest that comes on has been electric.
Put the seatbelts on and drop the oxygen mask because
No. This is going to be.
I just hope I don't embarrass Miguel, and I'm certainly going to hope that your followers don't unsubscribe after this is over.
No. We're going to get more subscribers now.
Yeah, we have a total of what, 4 or 5? I don't know, something like that. We're trying to get to 6. So you'll take us up to 6. So Joe, what have you been doing? We had the pandemic and things like that, and you have been, from reading all of your history and talking to Miguel, you have been in some quite major market organizations. Caesar's Palace, was it Trump's Taj Mahal?
Trump Taj Mahal, Caesar's Palace. Before that, well, I'll backtrack a little. I'll give you the 2-minute version of my gaming background. And I'm going to tell the year because it doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter anymore.
We're
past that.
You're looking good.
In 1977, right out of school, my father was in the hotel business, my grandfather, 3rd generation, but we were Howard Johnson's Best Western small properties once we immigrated from Cuba to Chicago and worked on those properties. So I was working in a hotel since I was 14, and I didn't want to work in a Howard Johnson. I didn't want to work in the hotel business. But I love going to the Conrad in Chicago. I love to go into the big hotels. My father would take me through the lobbies and say, this is what the hotels in Havana, in Paris, this is what it's like. It's not, we managed a 100-room Howard Johnson's in Skokie, Illinois, which was great experience. So in 77, I told my father, after school, I want to go and do something else. And maybe I'll stay in the hotel business, but I want to do something in a grander hotel. And he said, no luck. You'll never do it. You don't have a Cornell degree. You don't have that pedigree, and you're too impatient. They will wait at the Waldorf for somebody to be 50 years old and have a Cornell degree before they give him the presidency. I said, no, it can't be that hard. So he gave me the advice, go west, go to California, go somewhere, try there, work for a small hotel group and see how you like it. There'll be nicer hotels than what you're experienced to. And I drove my car, my 7-year-old Grand Prix, full with everything that I own. And as I was driving from Chicago on my 4th day, nervous, I told my mother if I didn't get the right job, I'd be back in 3 weeks. And she was crying in my rearview mirror. And I passed through Vegas. And I think I told Miguel the story. When I passed through Vegas, it was July 7th of 77. I'd never been in a casino in my life, but I said, this is a coincidence. I had 3 names of Cuban dealers that had left Cuba and had moved to Las Vegas. They all worked at Caesar's Palace, but there was a lot of Cubans in Las Vegas because after Castro, all the guys, all the managers, U.S. based, went back to Las Vegas, and they brought their newfound friends from Cuba, and that spoke a little bit of English and had the rapport. So I go to Las Vegas. I stay at the El Cortez downtown for $12.50 because they gave me a 3-minute call anywhere in the country back in '77. That was big, right? You call long distance. Man, I couldn't even call the next city in Chicago. So I took a room. I said, yeah, I'll stay one night and see what Las Vegas is all about. I went downtown. I didn't know there was a strip. I stayed at the El Cortez. I said, this is great, but it's not that great. In the lobby, they had 32 phone booths where everybody staying in the hotel got a 3-minute call. You went in there, 3-minute call, and after 3 minutes, you just stopped. So I called my mother with a 3-minute call. And then I went to the strip and I walked into Caesar's Palace. And I said, can the hotels in LA be nicer than this? No way. The people, the way they were dressed, I mean, I don't tell you, everybody was good looking, everybody's walking around. I said, maybe I'll put it, and I had an interview with a small hotel group out of LA. Long story short, I took 3 interviews that day. That's when you walked in and they said, talk to that guy. I talked to that guy and I said, I'm a hotel guy, anything, front office, I'm your guy. And Caesar said, well, you know what? Let us call you back. I walked across the street to what became the Imperial Palace, which is now the Link. It was the Flamingo Capri next to the Flamingo. I went in there and the lady hired me in the spot. But you know how to do a night audit? I said, manual? And they said, no, we have an NCR 4200. I said, by coincidence, we had that. I said, yeah, we have 1,000 hotel rooms. I said, I'm in. But I had also gone to the Aladdin, which was in the second ownership. And they had said, we need a rack clerk manager. But that's 12 midnight to 8 o'clock in the morning. And do you know, there's Hina.
Hina. Welcome.
Hina, I'm boring them with.
How are you?
First and foremost, I enjoy your podcast extremely well. It was beautiful. So and I love the banter between all of you guys. It's just
and the dance at the end.
The dance, and then you co-hosted one of the other podcasts. I think it was maybe Roger Snow or somebody else. That was a lot of fun.
Yep, it was Roger. Hey, Hina.
We're starting with the early years. I promise you 2 minutes.
No worries. No worries.
Joe, you were by yourself when you were doing this, when you were traveling?
I was by myself.
Were you nervous? Weren't you nervous as a young kid?
No. Listen, our grandparents came from wherever, Spain or somewhere else, and they traveled and they had nothing. I had a whole safety net. I had $300 and a 6-year-old Grand Prix, and my mother, my father, just a phone call away. But I wanted to be in the business. I wasn't sure. I wanted to do architecture too. And so I arrived in Las Vegas and I went to 4 places: Caesar's, as I said, Flamingo Capri, which became the Imperial Palace, the Aladdin, 3 places, I'm sorry. And the Aladdin, they said, we have a job and we need somebody starting tonight, rack clerk manager. I said, rack clerk manager? I had no idea what that meant. I knew what a rack was, the old-fashioned racks where you put the names of the folks. You have 1,000 rooms, you have 1,000 racks, and the people coming in, check out, check in, color-coded by groups, etc. I think I could do that.
See, I'm learning right now. I never knew what that was. Never heard of it.
Computers, way before computers. So, all the reservations that came in went down to the rack clerk folks in hotels this big, right? Like the Aladdin, not in a 100-room Howard Johnson's. And you had a war room, a rack, right? With all the dates in the month, 3 months ahead. And groups came in, Funway tours had 30 rooms coming in. They were blue, and you knew they were coming in on the 7th, leaving on the 10th. So now the dates of the week, you knew which was open. And you would do a hand report every night to the reservations department so they could take reservations, not overbook, and knew how many people were coming in, how many people were going out, how many groups. So that was 12 to 8, and I get the Flamingo Capri job and not the front desk. I was front office person. I walked in thinking I was going to work the front desk, and they said, no, the receivables account guy was stealing, and he was just escorted off the property. We're way behind. Can you do that? And I said, well, I sent letters out, for the for Howard Johnson. I said, I'll try it. If you have a good accountant, CFO, there was no CFOs back then, just had accountants. So, well, what time so that was 9 to 5, and the other one was 12 to 8. I took both jobs.
You took both?
Yeah, just in case. I said, I'm going to get fired from one. So, let me go at it. And I figured 3 months, I can do this for 3 months. But I had not told my mother or my father that I was staying in Las Vegas. They thought I was still in LA. I was interviewing. And I took both jobs. It took about 2 weeks for me to hone up to my father first, and then my mother. My mother thought I had gone to Sin City. What am I doing there? Come back to Chicago. We're going to come pick you up. And it was the best experience of my life, right? So it was just a lot of fun. And truly, obviously, I'm 21, I'm 22, and I'm having fun. I'm working very, very hard, but I was doing what I wanted to do. And I was living in a place that was so different than Chicago, which I love. Chicago, still my hometown, but it was such a different energy and mentors and learning lessons that I didn't realize until I got into management later on, that boy, those little moments with ownership. And that's when Las Vegas was, most of the hotels had private ownership, and the owners were on the property all the time. So
the transformation of Las Vegas from then to I don't know what period of the evolution of Vegas and reinvention and reinvention.
90s, early 90s.
Yeah, the reinvention of Las Vegas, it has changed so much. But that story that you say, and Hina, you've asked that question for a few people. I think Mike Darley, I think you've asked that question now, how they got in Benny Mancino, how they got into business. But they're very similar stories, how people got into business and landed in Las Vegas. Mine was very different from that, but it seems like, especially when people hit Las Vegas at a young age, you just get into the Wizard of Oz, what's the Wizard of Oz in the movie with, what's the name of the area, whatever, not the area.
Emerald City.
Emerald City in the magical city. And that's what is probably, sort of similar to that, and you get attracted, and then you start moving on, and you do things that you didn't expect to do. But that brings to mind something I just recently read, because you talked about how the ownership was, single owners and so forth. But it's getting ready to go through another change. The Hard Rock International. I don't know if they finished the deal or not. The acquisition of the Mirage, the MGM Mirage.
Yeah, they did.
A one point like $5 billion, purchase or something like that. But there's a big petition going on. I think it was yesterday, maybe 5 or 6,000 people. That's not many, but still, it's a little bit of an uproar, because they haven't confirmed eliminating the volcano. You heard that?
Yeah, the volcano's coming out.
The volcano. Well, they haven't confirmed. Okay, so now you're breaking news.
Oh no, I'm not confirming it. But
no, breaking news. Joe Jimenez.
You can't blend.
You're not your head. I saw you. The way you said, no, it's
I'm on the hook. I don't speak for anybody, but you can't blend an old brand, an iconic
it
brand
doesn't match Hard
with
Rock
a new
brand.
iconic brand. The guitar,
you heard it first.
And all the other things that you cannot keep. It doesn't make any sense.
You heard it first on Chex Play Casino podcast from Joe Jimenez. It's coming out.
That's what I believe. Anyways. But these guys are a lot smarter, and these guys know how to build.
Why can't they have both? They can have, because they want to do the guitar. I think a smaller version of the guitar that they have in Hollywood, but why can't they do both? I think that would be pretty cool. You know, the fire and
I
flames and
think, I
everything.
think it would be, but the thing is, it's two different themes and two different company mentalities, and they got to bring their brand in. It's like if you buy, usually when you buy an old house, you fix it up. You wanna make it your feel and look. It's the same that they will do. So like they bought the Taj Mahal, which was one of the glitziest places around, and you see what they did with it. It's not the same Taj Mahal as
There's
before.
not that much of a difference. That's not
Oh,
that.
there is.
Not really, not like in Las Vegas, like bringing the volcano and the guitar and things like that. But if you think about all the attractions in Las Vegas, they had, the fountains at the Bellagio, the Grand Canal at the Venetian, and Fremont Street Experience, and at Caesars they had the fountains that Evel Knievel tried to jump that he didn't make it over, and in places like that they had the high roller Ferris wheel, the sky pod, the stratosphere, and they had the Eiffel Tower. There's so many different iconic places and stuff, and when Joe talks about back then, and the El Cortez, have you been to the El Cortez lately,
I have.
Joe?
I have.
It's beautiful. It doesn't look anything actually I like the way it looked before. It's seedy, and the steak and eggs, and that's, what was it, was it 50 cents for a steak and eggs?
The
That
prime
was
rib, and the prime rib they had at El Cortez was out of this world.
Yeah, but I kind of I miss the seedy part of it now.
I think that's important for Fremont Street. I think Fremont Street, it's very cool to keep the nostalgia and keep the authenticity of it. But if you think of all the great iconic hotels, whether it's the Dunes, the Sands, the Stardust, I mean, all the hotels that were there when I arrived, they have all been imploded. The only brands, if you will, Caesars was the only one that was not imploded. Caesars, like Coca-Cola, it's one of the three greatest brands, I believe, in America, even though, I worked for them for a length of time. But Caesar was the only one. And of course, Flamingo stayed at Flamingo.
Yeah.
But everything else, where Wynn built his hotel, the last hotel, Wynn and Encore, was one of the finest resorts and one of the finest, and they had just refurbished it to the tune of, at that time, 200-300 million. And he imported it, brand new. Now,
yeah, the DI.
It was the most beautiful hotel golf course, and he imploded it. Now, the Mirage is different. Great layout, hotel room sizes are great. It was built in 1989, 87 to 89, they built it, or 86 to 89. So they can come like the Taj Mahal and do a total makeover. But if you walk through the Taj Mahal, there's, it's new. You don't think of the Taj Mahal unless you live there and you work there. You're one of us, right? But if you are a tourist, if you're a conventioneer, if you're a gambler from another region, it's Hard Rock. That brand is super strong, and they understand exactly. I always tell, from my perspective, and Miguel has traveled all over the world. You guys have either. You have also. I'm sorry. So you can have a lot of money, and you can have a lot of taste. You can have a lot of money and build, the most expensive hotel in the world. You can have a lot of taste, and with less money, build something very, very special. Resorts World, I think, got both of them right. They did a very good job.
But remember, and Joe, I don't know if you remember, I think you were still there. When we took Caesar's Palace and expanded it, and we took a lot of the old, brought into the new, but we still kept the old. There was no way we were going to get rid of Cleopatra's barge because that was, iconic. However, we still made it modernistic to the time period that we were there, and then plus to have the Caesars Forum, and then to do the Caesars Palace where Elton John and Celine Dion, and then we had what we called that it was the Caesars Forum Way, and then we brought in all of the not the Playboy, it was the bars and the clubs and things like that were coming in. So to me, I think that, if they're going to get rid of that volcano, have it shoot out through the guitar like a lot of the rock stars do.
Yeah.
So there you have a little bit of both, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was interesting. The Caesar's Palace, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, because of Bellagio and everything else, the parade has started passing by. And I was in Atlantic City, remember those conversations with Arthur Goldberg and Wally Barr and, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And, the brand is iconic. So there was no, they had built Paris, and Paris, would go on to do, $100 million in EBITDA, 150, but it was not going to ever be Caesar's Palace. You couldn't enclose Caesar's Palace. So that's when I made the move to Caesar's Palace, because we're going to invest $1 billion. And, it took a lot of courage to close down the showroom and make it, put that, the Baccarat pit. It took a lot of, but they had to do it because the parade had passed them by. And then, through investments and, strategic thinking and good people like yourself, it happened, right?
Joe, can I say this? I think you're being really chill right now, because from what I read about you, just being really chill, and I don't really appreciate that. Just break it out, pull out, break out, take your shirt, rip it open.
bring it on, Joe.
Because I know,
rip my shirt open.
rip it open and let your chest out, because I heard about you and the things that you have done. You're playing this chill thing, but people don't know. And unless I read it wrong, people don't know you had a lot to do with the branding of the residency of entertainers, which was Celine Dion at Caesars.
Well, everybody's on this now, but
yeah, but weren't you the guy? No, let me finish. Let me just blow your horn a little bit. Let me finish here. Let me finish. Let me finish blowing this horn here. That you were the guy that put all that stuff together and decided. I don't know. You got to tell us, how did you pick Celine Dion? Was she on a list of 10 and you got it down to 5, and then you got down to 3, and then she was the one that made the deal? I don't know, how much was it for? How did you put all that together? Where did the concept come from? Because it was amazing. Didn't you guys even build her own stadium or theater?
Yeah, Coliseum. So first of all, that horn should say fake news. Blow the fake news. That's all fake news.
I'm just going to just put it out there.
It's pretty easy when you have AEG, Anschutz Entertainment, and a guy like Larry Maglin from Concerts West in your team, and you have Renee Angelil already being a fan of the Caesars brand. So, and Arthur Goldberg and the board approving to build $100 million Coliseum and putting a ton of money into this crapshoot, because there was residencies before. When Sinatra did 60 days at Caesar, Thursday through Sunday, 6 shows. That's right. Everybody, name it, Bobby Vinton, Tom Jones, Engelbert, they all lived in Las Vegas, basically, but no one did 200 shows in 1 year and stopped performing everywhere else in the world. She could not perform anywhere else.
That was a deal. That was a deal.
She couldn't tour anywhere. So not that she could have anyways, because the number of shows. And the origin of this was, Celine and Renee went to to see O at Bellagio, and for the first time with Gila Liberti and Franco Dragone, and so other Cirque shows. And she was wowed like everybody else when you see it for the first time. And she said, on my next tour, this is what I want to do. Well, it's impossible. It would cost so much money to put a old type of show, a Cirque show, and put it on multiple planes and tour them around the world. It's cost prohibitive. So,
well, her stage was one of the most unique. Mm-hmm. I remember when Bette Midler came and she said, I do not know how Celine does this. She was going from point A to point B, and she goes, I'm out of breath, just going one end of the stage to the other. And I mean, that stage was amazing. And it was really, truly one of a kind.
It was one of a kind. Franco Dragone, who had worked with Gila Liberti at Cirque du Soleil, left the company, formed his own company. He produced the show and created the show with Renee. Renee was hands-on. I mean, the sound system had the best people from the world come in. I can't talk enough about Concerts West and AEG, how they stood up to the plate. But you talked about what a draw. You know, Celine has sold at that time, I don't know, 100 million records by the time, 125 million, number one grossing female of the time, and incredible fandom.
Okay, Joe, sing one of her songs. Sing one of her songs. Okay. Joe, seriously.
You got the Titanic.
Even when I drive
play,
all
you
night.
get the piano.
You can play the piano there for him.
But you talked about the impact of Celine and how she changed Las Vegas, just like the Mirage changed the way people build hotels after after November of '89. Oprah, her good friend, came and did a pre-show taping with a full audience just for her.
Who?
Right, Oprah. I think you know the name.
Winfrey? Oprah Winfrey?
Oprah Winfrey, yeah.
Okay.
You know many Oprahs? Are there many Oprahs there? You can.
I know Oprah Johnson, Oprah Smith, Oprah Wagenheim.
She was there that evening.
Oprah Wagenheim. just, I'm sorry. I'm a mess. Am I making you look good, Miguel? I told you I was going to make you look good.
We're trying.
Did we start taping the official show yet?
Oh yeah, we're on.
We're just having fun. So, but Oprah wanted a preview, a sneak peek, and she put it on her show. So they came in and did the full show with a invited guest only before even the press had seen it. To Renee's credit and John Meglin, I said Larry Meglin, John Meglin from Concerts West and everybody else, they had, I believe it was Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster put its own bank of phones. It was way back then that most of the orders were by phone. You still could do something, but remember, this is 2002, right? 2002, 2003. And Oprah does the show. The phone bank went down, the computers went down, everything went down. And you only put so many shows, even though she was going to do like 6 weeks in a row and then take a week off, another 6 weeks. So they had put, let's say 20 shows sold out like in one day. The power was unbelievable. And then from Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Bureau, Rossi Rollin Carter, who is the president, did some research. And we were talking one day. So, you look back and when the first year, second year, people would book the Celine show first. Then they would book the airfare and then they would book the hotel.
Really?
That order.
Wow.
So,
Why didn't something like that happen in Atlantic City, though? You worked in Atlantic.